Right, so I've got a little job today, and that is the door lock. Opens and shuts fine, but for about 7 years we've not been able to actually lock the back door. So we've just been left unlocked for about 7 years. Fortunately, it doesn't really make any difference because there's not usually anything kept in the back, except maybe some boards occasionally. So I know at least one of the issues is this cable. I don't know if you guys can see that. In there, the cable split. But there's something wrong with the mechanism itself because you can't lock it with a key either. So you possibly drop this handle out and take a look. Otherwise, I have got a brand new second-hand cable and lock set that I can put on. Don't seem too bad. They all seem to be exactly the same size. They all seem to be a 30 Torx piece. So I'll take these bits off. We'll start off with the cable, I think, first. Get it out of the way, get it changed. And then go from there. Ooh. Seem too bad an idea. Don't seem seems like quite a simple design. I'm quite surprised it's gone wrong, really. Yeah. As a mate of mine says, if he's got a motor or tits, it's going to cause you trouble. You can see the split cable a bit more in there. So see about dropping this out. I don't need to take this out, but I don't know, I might do, just so I can see what's going on a bit clearer. And again, the handle's easy. That's literally a single bolt. He says. Single bolt, and then the whole lot, I seem to recall, slides forwards and out. There's a handle. Not really too much can go wrong with that. I've only ever known one of these to snap once, and that was an old Sata beefer. Very similar handle. So I think, not too sure what that actually hooks onto. That's the latch open it. Oh, actually, I wonder if it's this bit of bodywork. There's a bit of bent bodywork here. There's a bit of bent bodywork I'm doing. I wonder if that's getting in the way. You know what? Again, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a right there's a bit of bent bodywork, and I wonder if that's getting in the way. I'll try bending that out of the way, see what that does first. Yeah, so I think I've worked out what's going on here. I'm hoping this is somewhere in focus. But I've got the door latch flicked shut, and then if I push down, if I can even find it, where is it? There it is. If I push down on that, you can see that's flicking up, but then that lever's getting stopped by the bodywork. So there's nothing wrong with my latch at all. It's literally the last 7 years this bit of bodywork's been bent down stopping it. Finally, I'd spotted that 7 years ago. I think that's the case anyway. I'll go and bend it back up and see what happens. Still need to change the cable, still there. Now, as I'm doing this little bit of bodywork, something's just occurred to me. It's just occurred to me this van's been broken into. It's only taken us 7 years to realise it, but this van's been broken into because historically these vehicles, if you wanted to break into them, you'd literally just get a screwdriver or a punch and shove it underneath the handle, and then you could work the mechanism from inside. And I bet that's what's happened. I bet 7 years or so ago this was broken into, and we've probably never noticed because we don't keep anything of value in here. So they've probably broken into it, realised there's nothing worth it, shut the door, walked off, and we've just never noticed. bet that's what's happened. Like I say, there's no reason other than braking for this bit of bodywork here to be bent down like that. How about that? Must be the only time we've had a vehicle braking that we've never actually noticed till several years later. Anyway, that is now bent back up. So now that latch is still folded shut. So now, if I operate this lock, no, we're not that lucky. Not that lucky. Not too sure why. Right, so I think we're about there. This is the door lock out of here. This is just those 3 Torx bolt screws, and then it comes out. I think the issue actually was partly this cable. Partly it was that bodywork that had been bent in by someone breaking into it. And also it was partly the cable. So I found that cable was actually not seized as such, but must have a kink in it, because it would not move at all. As this one just fitted that, and it works beautifully. So I'm just going to put that back in. Fortunately, that goes in actually very easily. It literally drops in up here, and it goes in like that. So I'll put my camera down so I can have both hands back, and I'll drop that back in. That bit done. Handle next. I'll put the original handle back, and I've got another handle. Actually, that's probably something I didn't mention. Was this lock set is actually off a Mercedes Sprinter, but the back doors are identical. Obviously, the rear lights are different, but I think pretty much everything else in the back of these are identical to an early Sprinter. So. And it wasn't actually, it was only about $5 dearer to buy the complete second-hand lock set than it was to buy just the cable, but I'm glad I'd done that, because I was able to study it a bit easier. And I've got a spare one if I need it. Better. That seems to be a lot better. That hasn't worked for years. Right. What I might do before I put the, let me adjust that so I'm actually pointing the right way. Right. Before I put the handle back in, I might put some grease over this to protect it and try and stop it rusting through. I might even try and flatten it slightly more. Literally all I've done is used a pair of, you can see why they've got broken into so often. It's literally the thinnest bit of material. You can buy little armour plates that you put onto it, but I'm sort of reluctant to do that, because nothing of value is kept in this thing anyway, so it's like there's no point. I think I'd rather people break in, make a tiniest bit of damage that you don't even notice, and wander off. But yeah, I'll grab some grease and put some grease on that. Right, door handle's back in. So that should be locked. That should be unlocked. Yeah, good. Right, that'll do. How about that, eh? Perfect. Actually lock the back door now until someone else breaks in and we don't notice it for another 7 or 8 years. I think that's about it really. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Just on the side note, you're probably wondering how we didn't notice for so long that this van had been broken into. As I mentioned before, nothing of any value is ever kept in this van, it really isn't. But also I think what it is, this vinyl covered the hole up, as it is now pretty much. A bit less forgiving now, I've stuffed a load of grease in there, but we had this vinyl wrapped when we first brought it when it was a couple of years old. And I think the vinyl is covered up where they punched through underneath the lock to break in. So I think that's what's happened. I think they've broken in. We've never noticed because the vinyl's just covered it back up, and I only just noticed because finally got around to fixing the door lock that's not worked for at least 7 years. But anyway, on that bombshell, I hope you have a nice weekend, and I'll see you later on.